Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tiffany. Now I hope you're all enjoying this lovely, glorious summer day from the inside of your house, of course, because there are lockdown rules. So be like Tiffany and enjoy it from your windowsill. Now, today I thought it would be interesting to talk about how we don't have to dance to the tune of our emotions. We can instead learn to master them. Now, just like you would change the settings of the temperature of a room by using the thermostat, is the same way in which we have the capacity to set the temperature of our minds. And especially with COVID-19 and the fear, the death, the anxiety, the loss that we are all experiencing on a daily basis, I think it's so important right now to learn how to master our emotions, because that's exactly what will carry us through. Now, there's three ways in which we can do this. Number one is to practice self-compassion. Now, it's baffling how, despite being our own lifelong companions, we don't extend the same support, the same consideration that we extend to other people inwardly. And it's almost as if outwardly we are saints, but inwardly we are sinners. And how can you encourage other people? How can you support them? How can you overlook their inadequacies? And instead you're critical towards yourself, you're harsh towards yourself, you're negative towards yourself. It's just not an effective way to deal with life, and I think it is actually killing us. Self-compassion is not narcissism, it's not self-indulgence, it's actually a practical way, because you simply cannot pour from an empty cup. You first have to build yourself up, and then you'll have something worth offering other people, or worth offering to the world. So how do you actually get started on self-compassion? Treat yourself as you would someone that you care about. Treat yourself as you would a friend. Treat yourself as you would someone that you want the best for. My second tip is don't repress your emotions, learn to manage them. Now, I've definitely struggled with this, because I come from a sort of environment where we don't sort of express our anger. We're much more of a sort of a stiff upper lip type of people. And I think for me, there came a time when I wasn't able to channel my anger properly. So instead, it sort of resulted into passive aggressive behavior. So whilst I'm angry, I sort of want to keep the peace and the quiet. So I would be sitting there raging inside, but outside I'd be very sort of composed. And I think the same way with sadness, I've actually also struggled to express my sadness, simply because I didn't kind of know how to deal with it. But when you think about all these negative emotions like sadness, like even pensiveness, I think they're all valid emotions, because there's such a wide spectrum of emotions. And sadness is a signal, just like any other emotion. Maybe you're missing someone that you care about, or you are disappointed because things didn't go your way. And it's very important to allow ourselves to sometimes feel these emotions, but also have the self-awareness to practice effective emotional management. So when you're sad, think of ways in which you can brighten your day up, or how you can lift yourself out of it, so that you don't actually kind of go into like a full-blown depression. And what has worked for me in terms of dealing with my negative emotions is that I've learned to journal. Journal has been so effective to kind of put down my thoughts on paper, to analyze them. And obviously that then, that was something that actually turned into, led to me writing articles on Medium. Another thing that has worked for me is exercise. It sort of releases a lot of good, feel-good hormones in my mind, and endorphins also in my mind. So, and I think also helping other people is also quite an effective way, because it takes the focus away from ourselves and onto how we can actually add value to someone else. And in that pursuit, you realize that there's so much more to life, perhaps, than dwelling on yourself and your kind of sadness. My third tip is to take responsibility for your life. Now, sadly, so many of us feel that our lives and the results we're getting are the results of due to kind of external factors, external powers outside of ourselves. So maybe our childhood, our environment, what our parents have done to us. And I think those are very valid sort of factors that do affect us, but up to a certain stage. I think there comes a time when you have to have a cut-off period and think, okay, I need to take control of my own life. Like, what am I doing that actually sabotages my joy, sabotages my progress, that sabotages me from getting the things that I truly want in life? And as you begin this sort of level of analysis, I think it does help you to also start to find a way to live much more intentionally, to live in a way that's also aligned with your values. And I think it really is an internal conversation. I was recently reading Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules to Life, and he talks about this notion of having a discussion with yourself. So saying, hey, so what can we do today that can make tomorrow better? And in the sense of having that negotiation with yourself and, kind of embracing the fact that you're not perfect, you can then start to think, okay, we can maybe follow through on a small task that I've always talked about. And then by doing that, you can think, okay, what can I do to then reward myself to make sure that I actually follow through? And I think at several points in my life, I have also had a similar level of conversation. I've said, especially, I remember when I first started my business, I looked at myself and I said, okay, Tiffany, we are a little bit fearful. We're feeling anxious about this new journey. So what can we do to help ourselves to become much more confident and embrace the discomfort? So I said, okay, perhaps I could start the 30-day cold shower challenge. And that's exactly what I did. For 30 days, I had a very cold shower. And it was amazing, obviously very cold, but that's not the point. The point is, as I went through that, it helped me to embrace the idea of discomfort, that I can still, move on with life despite how awkward or scary it feels at first. And, that has been such an amazing foundation for me, even now, because there are times when I'm in a new situation, I think, okay, this is new, this is alien to me. But now I remember the cold shower, I remember the times when I was brave, even when it was scary, and that actually helps me to carry on through. So yeah, that's all I wanted to share. So I challenge you to stop dancing to just any emotional tune that's out there, and instead learn to create your own music. And always remember that life rewards those who live intentionally. Thanks guys, see you soon.